So starting this week's episode off with this element of love being thrown into the air where we're seeing the fortune teller seemingly have the hots for our man Genjiro, and then you just see these locusts kind of swarm in and just, it's devastating, it's kind of creepy, it's kind of like dangerous, and I think that represents this group in general. Not just the romantic side, but also just these characters like individually. Like this is a ticking time bomb of a group, and I've been saying it for a while that at any moment that this group could blow up, and it nearly does. It kind of gets diffused at the last moment there, but holy hell, tensions were high, and it's really a matter of who can you trust. Like, I mean, when we saw that picture of the Last Supper where all the Golden Kamuy characters were in it, you can kind of see who truly is going to betray who, since who takes up Judas's role and things like that in that image, but it's still for these characters, like, I love how tense the situations are. Like, when you literally see the confrontation between everyone and saying, like, okay, did you kill the father or not? And it's like, I have fingerprints, but really those fingerprints came from Lieutenant Surmi. It's a matter of how deep of a corrupted group is this? Like, who truly do you want to trust? And I really like the tension and just how, man, I thought someone was getting their head blown off. I mean, you got poor Genjo saying, like, man, did this chick just sleep with me just so she could kind of shield herself in this situation? Like, it was hard. Like, it was a very tense scene, and I love how, you know, for a while we've been building up to a moment similar to this. Obviously, it didn't implode as bad as it could have, but still, this was as tense as I was hoping it would be, and I really, really enjoyed it. And then you just kind of look at the relationship between Genjo as well as this fortune teller, and, you know, it definitely feels like there is some sort of chemistry being kind of grown, but at the same time, it's a matter of how true is that? Is it more of a use and abuse relationship, or is it something true trying to be built, but maybe can never come to fruition? Like, I really, really enjoyed just seeing how, you know, she's passing off this, like, hey, I slept with you just because of the otter that we ate, because it gives off this kind of pheromones that kind of just gets everyone hot and bothered, which definitely probably allowed for that situation to happen, but at the same time, it still feels, especially with how the episode started off, that there might be a true love there, but that true love probably will never come to a full satisfying conclusion for the both of them, which was a really nice touch. But I have to say, when I saw the boys gather around the fire to make a little bit of a dinner, and they're all starting to get hot and bothered, I really, really enjoyed that scene. That was absolutely hilarious. I just love how it's clear, even before you get the explanation that, hey, you know, the pheromones are kind of coming off and it gets people hot and bothered, because the guy said, hey, eat this with your loved one. And then when you see people start getting hot and bothered, you can say, hey, this guy was just trying to be a wingman. And then just the individual, from sumo wrestling to all the characters, that was just absolutely Golden Kamuy at its craziest, and I loved it. I love how at the end of, when everything's all said and done, they're just like, we're never going to speak of this again. It's Golden Kamuy. It knew how to do that comedy scene well, and it really, really succeeded. And just how they executed this episode was really good, because I really feel like that locust swarm was something to represent this group, how things can come in and happen so fast, but at the same time it's dangerous. Between the love to just the individual characters traveling together, it's a very dangerous group of people, because things happen so fast, so quick, that you don't see it coming, and then when it does, it can bite you in the ass and maybe even kill you. And I really like how the episode starts off to really set the mood of just like how dangerous this group is, but right now they're traveling to prison. They don't know who's truly lying, and if one of them kills the other, Sugimoto probably will kill the other just because he'll know which one of them kind of pulled the trigger. Which, this episode, really, this season in general, is Golden Kamuy at its best. This is like the style of where, you know, season 1 had its ups, it had a few downs, but it really was a satisfying season. But season 2, it finds that balance of how to make this style of show work, how to get the chemistry working exceptionally well, making character relationships that you know probably are destined to fail, but also all these interactions, it's like everyone really doesn't trust each other except maybe Sugimoto. He's pretty trustworthy, I'd say. Sugimoto's a pretty trustworthy guy, but past that, it's like anyone could really do something bad at any moment, and you kind of can take a look at that Last Supper image that they kind of previewed, but still, it's like, it feels like there's more to meets the eye in any scene of Golden Kamuy. It manages to have that fun and just over-the-top ridiculous comedy scene, but really at the end of the day, you kind of look at what's happening. We got this group of characters who everyone's on everyone's side at this moment. It's like, who the hell do you want to trust? And that just makes for really intriguing interactions, especially when you have very blunt characters just say, who the hell's betraying who? Did you really know my father? Like, it really just makes you feel like Golden Kamuy is one of the more thrilling shows of the year, because between seasons 1 and season 2, with what we've seen with these characters grow and develop, you don't get to see a group like this that often, where you have such hostility, such trust and distrust and just, everyone's working together for now, but how long can that truly last, especially with a near blow up like we had in this week's episode? You really would want to sleep with one eye open if you're traveling with this group, which I really love. Anytime you get a group such as this, it really makes for an intriguing anime. And honestly, despite there being a couple of hiccups here or there, like it almost felt like at times this episode might have been outsourced because it looked like Golden Kamuy, but it didn't have the same proportions as I'm used to with these general scenes. So I'll be interested to look up the production notes once those do get released, but this was just one of the most enjoyable episodes of Golden Kamuy. Like, most of the best episodes have come from season 2 if we're comparing both seasons 1 and season 2, but this is something that I've been waiting to see the group blow up, just have a meltdown, and I was surprised that it didn't end in someone getting shot. Like, I really thought someone was getting shot, or someone would at least shoot a gun just to get the tensions down a tad. So it was nice to finally see that, and I'm really glad we got such over-the-top ridiculous scenes like them eating dinner and getting the hots for one another, or just the actual romance that's like, hey, I only slept with you because of the otter, but really she probably slept with him for a little bit more than just that. This was a great episode, definitely one of the stronger episodes of the season and just series in general. So let me know whatever you thought of this week's episode of Golden Kamuy. Did you love it? Did you hate your favorite moment? Let me know whatever you're feeling, and be sure to like the video if you did enjoy, and also hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content from me in the future. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.